Question 3. The diagram shows straight lines AB and BC shown on a centimetre grid. So every single one of these lines is 1 centimetre long. Write down the coordinates of C. So that's the coordinates of this part. Well, we go 5 along and we go 1 up in order to identify where C is. Therefore, our coordinates are 5, 1, with the x value always coming before the y value when we label coordinates. Part B, we are going to be 3 along, and we're going to be 1 down, -1. So 3, -1. And part B, on the grid, mark point D so that ABCD is a kite. So the 2 lines that we have here need to create another 2 lines in order to create a quadrilateral that is a kite. Now, a kite has 1 line of symmetry, and based on the fact that it can't be here, because of the fact that this and this do not reflect one another, our line of symmetry that exists for a kite must be horizontal like so. And if you were to follow, I'll pick a different color, if you were to follow where the reflection from this, you would create the following in order to make your kite, and as such, this would have to be your point D. So as long as you've plotted that point D, you don't technically need to draw these lines, but of course it makes it more visual to see the kite itself. But point D plotted there is the point needed to make a kite. Lastly, work out the gradient or work out the steepness of the line AB. So that is this line here. We're trying to figure out the steepness of that. The gradient of any line is given as its rise over its run. Its rise being how high you go from your starting point to your ending point. Now this line AB actually goes 2 down, so the rise is actually going to be -2 to signify the fact that it's going down 2, and a run, or how far you go to the right, is going to give us a 4, so it will be a 4 across. That will then simplify to give us -0.5 or -0.5. Now you could have just looked at this as the rise over run as being 2 over 4, but you've got to remember if you have a line sloping down the way that it would need to be negative, and therefore you'd have to put that negative sign in later. So whether or not you put it in later, or whether or not you put it as far as the rise, either way you'll get -0.5 or -0.5. Done.